Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the New Orleans Kings franchise here on MLB the Show. And in this episode, we will be concluding Season 1, and there is a lot to unpack here in this episode. And some of the moves that we will be making are kind of future decisions. We want to see who's going to be on the squad in the future, and you guys will get to see at least what I'm thinking as far as rebuilding this roster. A lot of year one was just getting to know our roster and really just seeing who's going to be on the team next year, probably within the near future, because, you know, a lot of these guys, we have to either think about either trading them away or developing them. Looking at a guy that we're developing, obviously Corey Lee, and now we're up to the September call-ups, so that's what I'm doing right at this moment. And just evaluating some of our roster talent overall and organizational talent. I mean, we have decent talent. I wouldn't say we're great though at all. I wouldn't even say we're good, because we have a lot of C potential guys that are, you know, low 60s, some even low 70s. But, you know, we don't really have anybody that's gonna really stick out except Corey Lee. I'd say Corey Lee is probably the best bet right now, or a sure thing. I think the other guy is Justin Thompson too. Now, I have a decision to make here to either move him up and make him be a part of the September call-ups, or leave him down and allow him to just finish out this year. Now, since he's 20 years old, I'm going to allow him to just stay down and develop just a little bit more. I don't want to hurt his growth right now, and I want to kind of give a guy that's a little older an opportunity. So I decided to move up DJ Peters instead. He was hitting the ball decently, not great, but he's also hot, so I will move him up on a hot streak. And Justin Thompson, he's the minor leaguer of the year for us, which we'll highlight later. He hit close to 300 the entire way in AA ball, and then in AAA, he hit 280. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of a prospect, to hit that well at both levels. That is really good. So I will give DJ Peters an opportunity to play right away here as we go up against the Marlins, a team that isn't that good. At least they shouldn't be. And then we will put our future on the mound, Jace Vines. Let's just see how he will do in a starting job, in a starting role right now. And I am not sure what he will be in our rotation, but he is obviously the highest rated guy in our organization as far as starting pitching goes. So we'll need to see what he can do. So let's see what he does versus this Miami Marlins team, who is not a bad team, but they're not a good team either. So we'll have to see what he can do. So right away, you see he gives up a double down the line to John Birdie, and that's going to bring up Garrett Cooper, who's hitting 323. He hits a line shot to left field, and that one does skip through. And that is going to be 2 hits given up early at home. So Jace Vines already given up a couple of hits. So here comes Corey Dickerson to the plate. He hits one to the left center gap, and that one will make it all the way to Martine in center. And we come up throwing, and an overthrow to the cutoff man, and take a look. The runner comes all the way around to score from first, and that's a 2-0 lead here for the Miami Marlins. Not the start that you're looking for from Vines. So that brings up Jesus Aguilar to the plate, and he is going to walk as well. So there's still no outs in this inning, as that brings up Brian Anderson, who inside outs a pitch and hits it to right field. And now bases loaded, already up 2-0. No outs here in the first inning. Vines is not looking good. So that brings up Harold Ramirez, who watches one below the zone, and he walks one in. Jace Vines already at 27 pitches. And that brings up Diaz at the plate, and he hits one deep on a 3-1 count. That one is out of here. That one got way too much of the plate. It was a 3-1 count, and we wanted to avoid walking in yet another run, but it's even worse. A grand slam. It's 7-0. Could it get any worse here? There's still no outs in the inning. That brings up Jorge Alfaro, and look at this. He walks. So Matt Joyce, who they just acquired, he hits one down the right field line, and that one is going to be caught. And that's the first out of the inning and it comes by way of the 9-hole hitter. So that brings up John Birdie to the plate, who already has a double in this inning. He walks, so that brings up Garrett Cooper. He's 1 for 1. He hits a ground ball. Let's see if we can turn 2, go to second, and go to first, and it's going to be a fielder's choice. So now guys on the corners here. Corey Dickerson already has 2 RBIs. He hits one right back up the middle, make it 3 RBIs in this inning, 2 for 2. Jace Vines, 48 pitches, and we're still not done. Jesus Aguilar to the plate. He hits one through the infield. That one does get to left field, and Peters comes up throwing 9-0. Oh my goodness, this could possibly be the worst debut in MLB history by a pitcher. I do not remember anybody having this bad of a debut, but it's tough love here. We're keeping him in and making him pitch out of it, and he does finally, as Mike Ford gets a ground out to him and steps on first. 7 hits, 9 runs in that first inning. A disastrous inning for Jace Vines, and definitely not a good impression made on the MLB level. So they have Jordan Yamamoto on the mound, and let's see what the rookie DJ Peters can do at the plate in his first at bat. He is a taller player, and there he hits one to the left side, and he has his first major league hit. So at least one of our new September call-ups does well in his first action here, and he starts us off with a single as he leads off the game. That brings up Clint Frazier, who's been hitting really well, and he does swing and miss at the slider that time. And that brings up Mike Ford in the 4-hole. He's only hitting 206 with 2 outs, but he hits one deep to right field. That one has a lot of carry, and it does make it over the wall in right field. 384 feet. Mike Ford hits his 7th of the season, and at least we get 2 on the board, but it's still 9-2. What a game. I mean, that first inning was crazy. And Melky Cabrera comes up. He's our lone all-star this year. Easy ground ball, and Birdie does throw to first, and they get out of that inning. 9 runs, giving up 2. And now at this point, let's just see what these young kids can do. Here is Peters at the plate one more time, and he is going to walk. So now Clint Frazier comes up to the plate here with the man on first base. He hits one deep to the left center gap, and that one will make it all the way to the wall, and we will score the man from first base, Clint Frazier, who's having himself a phenomenal year since we traded for him. He has an RBI double. He will be one of our leaders in average this year, and that's his 21st double. And that brings up Mike Ford, who already has a home run in this game, and that one's just a line shot. Easy put out. And that brings up Melky Cabrera. Let's see what he can do, but he will just swing at one high, and it is going to be a pop-up here. And now down 10-3 here as we move on to the 5th inning. Let's see what DJ Peters can do. Another hit, and that is 2 for 2 for him in this game with a walk. And now a man on first base. Let's see if we can get him home once again, as that brings up Clint Frazier, already 1 for 2 in this game in the 2-hole. We send Peters from first, and it's a hit and run, but he does get thrown out. Strike him out, throw him out for the Marlins. And now we move on to the 9th inning. That is not a typo. It is 17-3 as the Marlins just go nuts on us in this game. But Mike Ford is going to hit one deep, and it is going to bounce off the wall this one. He almost had his 2nd home run of the game. And instead it's a double, but still I'll take it. But 17-3, this team is just bad. I mean, we are just really bad. As Melky comes up and hits a slow roller to second. Easy out at first. And that brings up Scooter to the plate. And he hits a rocket up the middle. 17-4 RBI single for him. He has definitely been a little disappointing. I was expecting him to hit around 260, I was hoping. That would probably be an ideal scenario. But here, up comes the next batter, Leonis Martin, to the plate. And it's an easy, nice hard ground ball. Enough time to turn the double play. And that is going to be the end of this game. 17-4. Can you believe it? The Miami Marlins, out of all teams, just straight up destroy us. Corey Dickerson 4 for 6 with 5 RBIs. Just insane. So now we move through the month of September to about midway through, and now we have about 10 games left in the season, maybe less than that. And now I want to give our guy Jace Vines one more time to start, get his redemption, and I'm going to give him maybe a lighter load here versus the Baltimore Orioles and see what he can do versus a lesser team, maybe one of the worst in the MLB right now, along with us. But we will give Jeremy Pena this time the start at shortstop. He has 13 at-bats since being moved up. And let's just see what he can do here at shortstop. I don't think he'll be the opening day shortstop next year. I still think he needs to develop just a little bit more. I like what we did with Corey Lee. I want to do that kind of that same thing. Just wait until he's ready. Hopefully he stays healthy too and keeps developing. Let's see how he does in his MLB debut as a starting shortstop. So here is Jace Vines out onto the mound once again versus the Orioles. And look at this. The hits continue with him on the mound. A leadoff double here for the Baltimore Orioles. And that's Jose Iglesias. He has his 35th double. As that brings up Alberto at the plate here in the 2-hole. But look at this, a pass ball and thrown to third, and it's a wild throw. And now 1-0 here for the Baltimore Orioles. And that one does suck because I want to see Jace Vines with some confidence in this game. I think that was the issue after that first inning. He gave him 9 runs. I mean, anybody's confidence is shattered after an inning like that. So let's just see him recover in this game. So let's see. We have 2 outs here in the inning as that brings up Nunez in the 4-hole, who hits a hard shot to first base. And that one is caught by Mark Trumbo, who gets to start this game. And now we come to the bottom half of the first as they have John Means on the mound. And DJ Peters will lead us off once again, hitting .350. He's had a tremendous start here since being called up. Let's see what he can do. His first at bat, a deep shot to left field, and it's going to be gone. DJ Peters, his first major league home run of his career, and that one is a 3-2 fastball on the inside part of the plate. He crushes it and makes it 1-1. What a debut from Peters. He had a pretty good game in the first game we played versus the Marlins, and now he continues that, hitting over .350. I love to see it. Here comes Clint Frazier up to the plate next. He drives one deep too and make it back-to-back home runs to start it out for the Kings in this one. There we go. Clint Frazier, 21 home runs here in his first year starting with us. I love to see it. It's 2-1 as we move on to the third inning. So here is Vines. This time he does not give up more runs in the second inning, but he gives up a leadoff double here with no outs. And that is a perfectly placed grounder on that one by Chance Cisco, the catcher, as they roll over the lineup. And here comes Jose Iglesias up at the plate. He gets a pitch to hit and hits it to left field, and that one is going to get into the cutoff man. That's David Bodie. And now no outs in the inning. Runners on the corners here with Hanser Alberto at the plate. Hits a chopper to third, and we will turn 2. But the runner does come in to score. 2-2 game here. Let's see if Jace Vines can settle down. So up comes the next batter. This time, fly ball to left field, and we will get out of that inning. 2 runs given up, and it makes it 2-2 as we move on to the bottom half of this inning. Here is the young man, Jeremy Pena, the shortstop, and he does get a hit to the left side. Love to see it. I want to see his power develop just a little bit more, as he's probably going to be a contact hitter. That's probably going to be his forte, as that brings up Clint Frazier to the plate, who does hit a grounder to short, but that's going to be an error. So now David Bodie comes to the plate in the 4-hole. He gets a hanger and hits one deep to left field. Let's see if it's got the carry, and it looks like it's going to be just short of the warning track, as he will attempt to tag up, but it looks like the throw was going to be off the mark just a little bit, but we decided to retreat. So Tim Beckham comes up to the plate and hits one down the right field line, and that one does actually roll under the foul pole on that one. So that's a ground rule double. and that does drive in 1 run. But here comes Mark Trumbull up to the plate. Ooh, he watches one on the outside corner. That one could have went either way. And that brings up 2 outs in the inning. Garrett Stubbs at the plate, and he swings and misses. You got to figure this is going to be Garrett Stubbs' last time being a starting catcher, as Corey Lee is on his heels and ready to take over that role. So we move on to the 4th inning, and another run given up by our man Jace Vines on the mound. A homer by Nunez, his 29th of the season. But now he eventually settles down. DJ Stewart comes to the plate. He's going down looking. Austin Hayes, he goes down swinging. How about let's make it 3? Ramon Urias to the plate, and he swings and misses on an outside curveball. So that's the type of pitching I love to see. When you give up a home run, settle down, get 3 straight strikeouts. As we move on to the 7th inning, this time it's Bodie to the plate, hits one deep, and it's caught over the shoulder. That's an athletic play that time by DJ Stewart in center field. As now we move on to the later parts of this game. Here is Dwight Smith at the plate. He watches one as Chris Davinsky is on the mound, as we did pull Jace Vines after, I believe, 6 innings. And up comes the next batter, who hits one deep off of the right field wall, and that one is going to be a double and bringing in 1 run. And there they take the lead, 4-3 here in the 8th inning with 2 outs. And Nunez looks like he is going to be the hero for the Orioles in this one if they come away with the win. But up comes the next batter, and we do get out of this inning. As we move on to the 9th, here is DJ Peters at the plate again, and he will swing and miss at the high heat. But still an awesome couple of games that he's had at the MLB level. And now that brings up Jeremy Pena, who swings at one, and he does just hit a little lazy fly ball in foul territory. And that one loses this game for the Kings, and not too much offense in this one. But this is what we're going to address in the offseason. Our pitching needs to improve substantially. Our offense needs to improve as well. And at least we figured out who's going to stick around here after this year. I'll definitely need some of your guys' help on who I should keep. But one good encouraging sign was DJ Peters. He hit the ball extremely well. As you look at the stats here at the end of the year, 100 plus losses, 107 to be exact. But DJ Peters has a really good contract as well. That's about $1 million for the next 5 years. Pretty good. And I love the production I've seen from him. It also helped him with his overall. He went up, I believe, 1 overall since he was at the MLB level. So Matt Duffy, we barely got to see play. He's going to be a free agent. I am looking to maybe bring him back to add some depth. So I guess we'll have to see how that goes in the free agency. Clint Frazier, though, I am very, very encouraged by his play. I want to give him a contract extension probably 2 years from now. He has a renewable contract next year, so we will just honor that and just bring him back on a renewable contract. Melky Cabrera, another one of these guys that is locked up long term, but he's 35 years old. I might either try to deal him just for like a low prospect. He did pretty good. He was our lone all-star, but nothing special. If I can find a replacement, I will. David Bodie, you know, he hit 257 2 years in a row. I don't know what I was expecting out of him. I just wanted to see what I could get out of him. And this was kind of the just the floor that I'm hoping that he will have. I'm hoping that he will improve as the seasons go on, as our success gets better. And I'm hoping that he will probably be a 280 hitter. I would expect that out of him. I don't think he's going to hit anywhere from, you know, at the top of the lineup, not 1, 2, or 3. I think he's more of a 4, 5, 6 hitter. I guess we'll have to see. Now, Martin and Beckham are tricky. Martin is a free agent, Martin is a free agent come this season, but Beckham is signed through, I believe, the next 3 years. So he will just be a depth guy along with Rajay Davis. But I expect Rajay Davis to retire probably. He's 39 years old. I don't expect him to stay around long. But Kyle Tucker is interesting. Now, I was really, really high on him when I started this franchise. I'm not any longer. I mean, that was a terrible season. He hit 228. I mean, that's just not good. The good thing about him is that he's got a renewable contract the next 2 years. So that is obviously a draw because we do get to keep him cheap. So I do want to kind of give him a chance, but I also am willing to listen to trade offers as well. If I see a good one, there's a good chance I could deal him, because a potential and having, just that contract, it's going to probably return a lot. So I do want to keep my eye on him. Now, Scooter, I don't know what I was really expecting, but he had a bad season hitting the ball. I mean, it wasn't impressive at all. I don't think he's our future second baseman. If we do keep him, he's just a depth guy. Garrett Stubbs, unfortunately, is going to lose his spot to obviously Corey Lee. I'm excited for Corey Lee to be our future at catcher and maybe even be in the future of the team, the face of the franchise. Who knows? And when's the last time a catcher has really been the face of a franchise in MLB at all? I mean, honestly, like the last time, maybe Mike Piazza is the last catcher I remember being like the absolute face of a franchise. Let me know if you guys can think of any. Right on the spot, I really can't think of any except Mike Piazza. I honestly think, I'm trying to think of like great catchers that have been just the face of the franchise. And I think Piazza is really the last one to really do it. Maybe we can do it with Corey Lee. So looking at our pitching rotation and how they did this year, Jose Urquidy, I'm not sold on, but he's 24. So honestly, I need to give him more of a chance. And maybe being the 1 or 2 in the rotation is not his role right now. I want to get another guy in here. Hopefully I can sign a guy in free agency that's not going to be expensive, because we do not have a big budget. We need to keep that in mind in free agency. When you guys tell me to go after guys, remember, keep it realistic. I have a low budget and I am not going to overspend, because I need to sign some of these rising stars that are coming up in our organization, like Clint Frazier, for example. He's going to be due for a contract extension soon. I'm going to need to have money to pay him. I can't dump my money into big free agents. Also, who in their right mind is really going to want to play for the worst team in the MLB? Nobody really. Not the big stars, obviously. They're going to want to play for winners. So looking at the rest of our guys, besides that rant I just went on, Ryan Abreu, I don't want to give up on him just yet. And I know some of you guys said I probably rushed him up, and I probably did. So if I can put him in the minors next year, I might do it. It could hurt his growth a little bit because his morale might be affected now. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Then some other guys at the bottom here that had the least amount of innings pitched. Jace Vines, obviously, we just had the 2 games starting with him. I was encouraged by the second start, but the first start was terrible. Still 25 years old. He probably won't be our ace next year. I don't even know who's going to be our ace. It probably is going to be Armenteros, because he had a great year. He's our only pitcher to be over 500 in our starting rotation. And then Joe Smith had a phenomenal year, a career year. And I'm excited to bring him back as well. So we do finish 55 and 107. A terrible way to start off this franchise, but what did we expect? I mean, this is a true rebuild. I mean, honestly, I don't know if there's any starters. Clint Frazier is a starter that will return. David Bodie is a starter that will return. But everybody else pretty much is up for grabs. I mean, even Kyle Tucker in left field, his spot's up for grabs as well. I mean, nobody's spot is really solidified right now. So let's just look around the league and see who did what. The Yankees took the AL East. And it's so funny, man. The Rays are always so close every single year. Just can never get the division. It's just, I mean, I hate to be a fan of one of those teams. You're just always close every single year. They just never get it. So just looking at the future of our organization and just looking at the minor leaguers and the guys that we should consider either being, close to the majors or majors next year, Corey Lee, hands down, probably will be our opening day catcher. He is going to be the face of the franchise, probably more than likely. He is 21 years old. He'll be 22 next year. He was hurt the entire year this year. I watched a video 2 years ago about how progression works, and even when you're hurt, you're still actually progressing. So it was actually pretty cool because he progressed from about 74 overall to 79 in this year, actually 73. So he went up about 6 overall just this season. It was the biggest leap of any prospect we've had. A guy that I really liked this year was Tommy Knight. He did pretty good at AA. He hit about 267. He is a power lefty at first base. Watch out for him because We don't have many great first basemen. I thought Mike Floyd was going to be that guy, but he ended up hitting only 206. Now, Ho-Young Park is probably not going to be at the MLB level to start next year. He does actually have the skills to do it, but I want to see him develop just a little bit more before I move him up. Luke Crampton, another subscriber recruit, he's at 65 overall. He started at 62, so he went up 3 overall. Now, Jeremy Pena, I believe he started at 68, and he's only went up 2 overall. That kind of sucks, because looking at Corey Lee's progression and seeing that he went up 6 overall, and then seeing Jeremy Pena, who only went up 2, that kind of sucks, because there are other guys that have lower potential that went up more or even the same as him. And one of those guys is Justin Thompson. He is B potential, but look at the potential. It went up this year after his performance. So maybe even at the end of next year, he could be an A potential guy. I wonder what exactly that rating is. I'm going to check it out actually before I get into the offseason here. Jack Rockford had man, he progressed really, really good. He is 22 years old. He's a great fielder, 67 overall. Watch him in the future as well. He could be a sneaky prospect for us as we develop some of these guys in our organization. Now, Forrest Whitley, another one of those A potential guys that did not develop like I thought he would. He was 68 overall when we started this season. He went up 3, but it's only 71 overall. That's definitely not good enough to probably make the MLB roster next year for opening day. So I think he's going to start out in the minors again, and he actually did not have a good year at AAA. So I even might start him at AA next year. I guess we'll have to see. And then a couple other guys, J.R. Bonifacio, and also a couple other guys that we are looking at. Luke O'Connor, he is a 23-year-old D potential. He is a subscriber recruit though, and he actually went down a lot in overall, despite him actually even playing above what his potential was. He actually had a really good year as a relief pitcher. I actually might adjust that potential, because that just doesn't seem right to me. He shouldn't be declining after that year that he had. I might move him up to a C just to make it fair, because that is a subscriber recruit, and I don't believe I'd change his potential at all, but I think I might just make it a C just to make it fair. So that is going to do it here for season 1. Here are the stats for the rest of the league. I just want to show you guys at least what the rest of the league looks like after the 2020 season. And I am ready for this offseason. Expect a ton of moves. There's going to be a ton of content in the offseason. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to make a lot of tough decisions too. I just know it. I have not done it yet, obviously, but I know it's going to be tough. I'm going to make some trades. I'm going to sign some people. Some guys are going to get let go. I don't know what our team's going to look like, honestly. And it's kind of weird, because this is the first time ever we're just like completely rebuilding our roster from scratch, really. Just a couple of guys are going to stick around, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Off season coming next. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah, they filling out these job applications. Life got hard after high school graduation. I went to college and your boy got financial aid. They gave me money, then I went and bought a pair of J's. And I bought a pair of shades. And I bought a new computer. Had $400 left, spent the rest on